Are you ready for a story from Debbie? We're looking at the Ron Gleason, the adjustable spanner, the history and origins of its development to 1970. Right, so we'll cross over to Debbie, and we are looking for the domino. And there must be only one size, because look, that's slightly different. This is flat here and this is the rounded end. So Steve from On Tools, that we met in the car boot, very, very knowledgeable about tools, he said it was heavily involved or by footprint, and that is the section that Debbie's going to read for us now. Yeah. Wow. Ooh, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah. And the next page, there's a little less in the next page. Go on.
Let me do without my glasses, I think.
Right.
Alright, cutlery manufacturer, the census records show that he was... Hang on, you've missed part of it. Where's the front bit?
Again. Let me get the right page. Fire away.
Right. Ellen TR Footprint Works Limited. Thomas Richard Ellen was born in Sheffield on the 27th of March 1861, the eldest son of Thomas Skevington Ellen, steel cutlery manufacturer.
Put the book down a touch. Yeah.
The census records show that he was still at home, aged 20, in 1881, and employed as a hardware merchant's assistant, his father having already retired by that time. He remained living at the parental home, Brincliffe Mount, Union Road, until 1912, when aged at 51, he married Mabel Bradbury in Bournemouth. By 1886, he had followed his father to become a manufacturer of cutlery and other edge tools, but had more of a taste for engineering and added other hand tools to the range, including his first adjustable spanner in 1889.
Which is a footprint, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
By the age of 30, he had settled to become engineer's tool manufacturer and was working from the premises at 4 Eyre Lane by 1893, and moving to set up more permanent footprint works at 31 to 45 Holliscroft by 1901. The origin of the footprint logo can be deduced from T.R. Ellen's illustrated copy of Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, held in the company's archive. One illustration shows Friday's footprints in the sand. One left foot of these is circled with the words "possible trademark" written in the margin. The left footprint, trademark, 2 words, was first registered in 1886, but applied only to edge tools. One can see his working out of the final version of the mark, because the next registration 3 months later was a right footprint, hyphenated. The first mark was eventually registered specifically for hand tools from the 24th of June 1892, but was very likely used on them before that. When a more utilitarian range of products was needed in 1888, the domino trademark was created.
Domino started in 1888.
And first applied to adjustable spanners in 1889.
1889.
Domino products were described as second quality against the footprint's warranted quality.
Yeah.
Although he appears not to have patented any adjustable spanners, Thomas' first registered design was in 1889. This was the famous footprint shifting spanner, much favoured by plumbers not to wrench pipers, but to have the jaws open and thin enough to deal with coupling nuts under sinks and such like. The company was incorporated in 1921 and expanded to make a wide range of hand tools, and as a factor, it impressed its footprint onto bought-in tools. By this time, Thomas's fellow director was his younger brother, William Reginald Ellen TR.
Oh, William Reginald!
Yeah. TR died on the 28th of June 1935 and WR in 1938. Thomas R. Ellen Footprint Limited was bought by John J. Jewett Sr. and run independently by his son, also John J. Jewett, in 1948. It has been run by this family ever since, and it's one of the very few English companies still active at the time of this writing.
So Domino was in the mix with what are they saying about Domino specifically?
Just products were described as second quality, so maybe they were cheaper or something.
But they're connected to Footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what year was that?
1888.
1888. Ooh,
Well, that's when they created it.
Yeah, the fun
the
started.
Domino thing. And it was adjustable spanners in 1889.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the information we've got off the book. It's in the book. And what's the listings for the Domino? What does it say, Deb? The Domino there, look. 6th of June, 1893. Can you see that? 6th of June, 1893. Wow. There's another domino here. 1890. So what we picked up today out of the car boot is definitely going to be scrubbed up and look for markings. And can you see they've got the numbers? We saw this, didn't we? We've seen the logo Domino. We saw something here, and we've seen this number as well, haven't we? So we definitely need, that was very faint, wasn't it? We definitely don't know what this number was here, this 19. We definitely need to work on that Domino. Yeah. But the footprint.
I just read that out.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, the left footprint,
yeah,
was registered in 1886, but applied to Edge Tools, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you can see his working out, and it's got a circle round the left foot saying possible trademark.
Yeah.
Then 3 months later,
yeah,
there's a right footprint, but this time it's the right foot, then it's got foot hyphen, the little
thing, yeah,
dash, and print. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
So you could find a couple of things.
What year?
Yeah.
What year was that again?
The first mark was eventually registered specifically for hand tools in 1892.
But likely used before that, you say? Yeah. Shows the logo footprint, Deb, because of the book, the Robinson Crusoe book, and the footprint in the sand.
Well, they're saying that because they found a copy of the Robinson Crusoe held in his company's archive. And it shows the Friday's footprints in the stand, so he obviously liked.
And that's how it came about.
Yeah.
The footprint.